Chairman, if I may be recognized to...
The senator is recognized.
Briefly on the amendment, I thank the chair of the Energy Committee. I thank her for her courtesy, and the gentleman from Ohio as well. And while we will not be having the full debate at this time on the Senate floor, we are, in fact, beginning with a critical issue, an issue that relates to climate change, American energy independence, the impact that legislation can have upon consumers, drivers in our country in terms of how much they are paying at the pump. It deals with actually the mission of young men and women in our country who go overseas in order to protect tankers of oil that are brought back to our country. And so the first question that will be asked in this debate is whether or not the oil, which is going to be delivered through this pipeline from Canada, is going to stay in the United States of America. The Canadian tar sands oil is the dirtiest oil in the world. The pipeline, like a straw, is going to be built through the United States down to Port Arthur, Texas, a tax-free export zone. So you don't have to be a MBA from the business school to figure out what this 3x5 card looks like. It is something that basically says that since the price of a barrel of oil on the global market is $17 higher than what the Canadians can get for the tar sands oil, that they want to get it out of the country, which is why it is going to end in Port Arthur, Texas, an export zone. So what the amendment says that I am going to be making out here on the floor of the Senate is that if the oil is drilled for in Canada, put through a pipeline in the United States, that oil cannot be exported, that oil stays in the United States, that the promise of energy independence in our country is, in fact, what this agenda is all about. Because otherwise, the United States is taking all of these environmental risks, the planet is taking all of these environmental risks, but the economic benefits are not flowing to consumers, drivers in the United States who finally feel some relief at the pump, that they're not feeling that they're being tipped upside down and having money shaken out of their pockets on a daily basis. So the oil companies have made many claims about this pipeline. They have said that it was for North American energy security, but it's really about exporting oil. They have said it's about reducing prices, but it's really about getting the highest profits. They said it would not harm the environment, but it in fact will worsen climate change and risk dangerous oil spills. They've been trying for 6 years to get this pipeline built, even when it's clear that we do not need it. And so this is really the Keystone export pipeline, the KXL export pipeline. And so the amendment, this first amendment that we will be debating, is one you cannot export it. We must keep that oil here in the United States. We must ensure that it is, in fact, something that benefits the American people. Otherwise, the Canadians are just ripping this oil, this dirty oil from their soil up in Canada and putting it into a pipeline that then will be exported, which will only ensure that the planet gets hotter, that it becomes more dangerous for future generations. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a very important debate. The planet is running a fever. There are no emergency rooms for planets. We have to engage in preventative care. If this action takes place, and all we're doing is allowing Canadian oil to go out right through our country and then out the other end, then we haven't done anything for the American consumer or for the climate. So, Mr. President, I look forward to a more complete debate on this issue.